What if I told you there's a simple white powder sitting in millions of kitchen cabinets that scientists have been studying for decades, yet most people over 60 use it for only one thing: baking? But here's the shocking part. Some of the claims you've heard about baking soda are true, while others are completely false. Today, we're separating science from myth. If you're over 60, this video could completely change the way you look at one of the cheapest household products in the world. Because baking soda isn't just another kitchen ingredient. Under the right circumstances, it has been used in medicine, sports science, dentistry, and even hospitals. Yet millions of older adults have no idea how versatile it really is. But before you rush into your kitchen, there's something you absolutely need to know. Not every health hack you see online is safe. In fact, some people should never use baking soda without medical advice. That's why this video is different. No myths, no miracle cures, just what scientific research actually says and what it doesn't. By the end of this video, you'll discover 10 surprising facts and potential uses of baking soda. Some may genuinely surprise you. Others may save you from believing misinformation that's spreading all over the internet. And one benefit often surprises even healthcare professionals because so few people know about it. Make sure you stay until the end. Here's something fascinating. Baking soda has been around for generations. Your grandparents probably kept a box in the kitchen. But while most people used it for baking, scientists were discovering that this simple compound could have a variety of practical uses, from neutralizing acids in certain situations to supporting specific medical treatments under professional supervision. The key is understanding when it's helpful and when it can actually be harmful. So, is baking soda really one of the most underrated household products, or has the internet exaggerated its benefits? Let's find out together. First, you need to understand what baking soda actually is, because once you know how it works, the rest of today's video will make perfect sense. Part 2. What is baking soda? The truth most people never learn. Before we reveal the 10 surprising benefits, there's one thing you absolutely need to understand. What exactly is baking soda? Because if you don't understand what it is, you'll never understand what it can and can't do. And that's where millions of people get confused. Believe it or not, baking soda isn't some newly discovered superfood. It's been around for over 100 years. Scientists know it as sodium bicarbonate, a simple mineral compound that reacts naturally with acids. That's its real superpower. Not magic, not mystery, chemistry. And once you understand that, everything else starts making sense. Think about what happens when you mix baking soda with vinegar. You've probably seen it before. Instant bubbles, foam, a powerful reaction. Why? Because baking soda neutralizes acid. Now imagine this same basic principle being used in different situations, inside the human body, in medicine, even in sports science. That's why researchers have been studying this tiny white powder for decades. But here's where people make a huge mistake. They assume because baking soda can do certain things, it must be safe for everyone. That's simply not true. Now here's something that surprises almost everyone. Baking soda and baking powder are not the same thing. Millions of people use the names interchangeably, but they're completely different. Baking soda is pure sodium bicarbonate. Baking powder already contains baking soda, along with acidic ingredients and starch that help baked foods rise. Using one instead of the other doesn't just change your recipe, it changes the chemistry, and that's why understanding the difference matters. So where is baking soda actually used? Most people know it for baking, but that's only the beginning. It's also found in some antacid products designed for occasional heartburn. Dentists have used it in certain oral care products. Athletes have studied it for high-intensity exercise performance. Hospitals may use sodium bicarbonate in specific medical situations under close professional supervision. Notice the pattern? Each use has a specific purpose, specific amounts, and specific safety guidelines. It's not a cure-all. And that brings us to something incredibly important. Just because something is inexpensive doesn't mean you should take it every day. If you have high blood pressure, kidney disease, heart disease, or take prescription medications, using baking soda without medical advice may not be appropriate. So before trying any health tip you see online, always ask one question: is it safe for someone like me? Now that you know what baking soda really is, let's uncover the first 3 surprising science-backed uses. And benefit number 1 is something millions of older adults have experienced without realizing baking soda was involved. Part 3. 3 surprising science-backed uses of baking soda. Now it's time to reveal the first 3 surprising benefits. But remember, just because baking soda can be useful doesn't mean it's right for everyone. The key is knowing when it helps and when it doesn't. Let's start with the one most people have actually experienced. Benefit number 1. It may help relieve occasional heartburn. Have you ever finished a heavy meal only to feel a burning sensation rising from your stomach into your chest? That's what many people call heartburn. Here's what's happening. Your stomach naturally produces acid to help digest food. But sometimes, that acid moves upward into the esophagus, creating that uncomfortable burning feeling. This is where baking soda becomes interesting, because sodium bicarbonate is alkaline. That means it can neutralize excess stomach acid, which is why it has been used as an ingredient in some over-the-counter antacid products. Notice something important. I said occasional heartburn, not daily heartburn. If you're reaching for antacids every day, your body may be trying to tell you something more serious. That's a conversation to have with your healthcare provider, not something to ignore. So yes, for occasional heartburn, baking soda has a legitimate medical use. But more isn't better. And frequent symptoms deserve medical attention. Benefit number 2, why some elite athletes use it. Now here's one that surprises almost everyone. Did you know some Olympic athletes and professional competitors have studied baking soda as part of their training? At first, it sounds unbelievable. Why would an athlete use something found in a kitchen cabinet? The answer comes down to acid buildup during intense exercise. Imagine you're sprinting as fast as you possibly can. Your muscles are working overtime. As intensity increases, your body produces more hydrogen ions, making the muscles more acidic. That acidity is one reason your muscles begin to burn and fatigue. Researchers have investigated whether sodium bicarbonate can help buffer some of that acidity during short, high-intensity exercise. Some studies have found performance benefits in certain events, while others show little or no effect. That's why it's not considered a miracle performance booster. It also isn't appropriate for everyone. Taking too much can cause stomach cramps, bloating, nausea, or diarrhea. So while sports scientists continue to study it, this is definitely not something to experiment with casually. Benefit number 3. It's used in certain medical emergencies. Now let's talk about the benefit that surprises even more people. Hospitals sometimes use sodium bicarbonate, but probably not in the way you think. This isn't something people take at home. It's used only in specific medical situations under the supervision of trained healthcare providers. For example, doctors may use sodium bicarbonate in carefully selected cases involving severe metabolic acidosis or certain drug overdoses, but only after evaluating the patient's condition. The dose, the timing, and the reason for using it are all carefully controlled. This is why you should never assume, if doctors use it, I should use it too. Medicine doesn't work that way. The same substance can be helpful in one situation and harmful in another. The difference is professional medical judgment. So what have we learned so far? A simple box of baking soda has real, science-supported uses, but context is everything. Then, it may help relieve occasional heartburn. Then, researchers have studied it for certain types of athletic performance. Then, doctors may use it in specific medical situations under close supervision. And we're just getting started, because in the next chapter, you'll discover 3 more surprising uses of baking soda, including one that might already be sitting in your bathroom cabinet. Part 4. Benefits number 4 through 6 that most people never expected. So far, we've talked about what baking soda may do inside the body. But what if I told you some of its most practical uses happen outside the body? And one of them might already be part of your morning routine without you even realizing it. Let's continue. Benefit number 4, a trusted ingredient in oral care. When you think about a healthy smile, you probably think about toothpaste. But have you ever looked at the ingredient list? You may be surprised to find sodium bicarbonate in some brands. Why? Because baking soda is a mild abrasive. Think of it like using a soft microfiber cloth to polish a window. It helps lift surface stains and debris without being as harsh as rough scrubbing materials. That's one reason it's been used in certain toothpastes for decades. But that's not all. Baking soda can also help neutralize acids in the mouth. Why does that matter? Because harmful bacteria feed on leftover sugars and produce acids. Over time, those acids can contribute to tooth decay. By helping reduce acidity, baking soda may create a healthier environment in the mouth as part of a regular oral hygiene routine. But here's something important. It isn't a replacement for brushing with fluoride toothpaste, flossing, or regular dental checkups. Think of it as one helpful ingredient, not a complete solution. Benefit number 5, a simple way to help clean fruits and vegetables. Now, let's move into the kitchen. Every day, millions of families wash fruits and vegetables before eating them, but plain water doesn't always remove everything from the surface. This is where baking soda has gained attention. Some research suggests that soaking certain fruits and vegetables in a baking soda solution may help remove more surface pesticide residues than rinsing with water alone. That's why some people choose to use it before preparing apples, cucumbers, grapes, and other produce. But remember, this doesn't make food chemical-free, and it doesn't replace buying fresh produce or washing food properly. It's simply one additional cleaning step some people choose to use. Sometimes, the smallest kitchen habits can contribute to better food preparation. Benefit number 6, the household secret your grandparents already knew. Now here's a benefit that has nothing to do with medicine, but everything to do with a cleaner home. Have you ever opened your refrigerator and noticed an unpleasant smell? Or stepped into a room that just didn't smell fresh? Baking soda has long been used as a natural deodorizer. Instead of covering odors with strong fragrances, it helps absorb and neutralize many odor-causing compounds. That's why people place an open box in the refrigerator, sprinkle it inside shoes, use it in trash bins, or add it while cleaning certain household surfaces. A cleaner environment may not sound exciting, but for older adults, maintaining a fresh and hygienic home can contribute to overall comfort and well-being. Sometimes, good health begins with the environment you live in every day. So let's review what we've learned. V, it can be a useful ingredient in some oral care products. V, it may help clean the surface of certain fruits and vegetables. V, it works as an effective household deodorizer and cleaning aid. Not bad for a simple white powder that costs just a few dollars. But we're not finished yet, because in the next chapter, I'll reveal the final 4 surprising uses of baking soda, including one that many people misunderstand, and another that could actually be dangerous if used the wrong way. Don't miss it. Part 5, Benefits 7 through 10. The truth most people never hear. We've already uncovered 6 surprising uses of baking soda, but these final 4 are the ones that create the most confusion online. Some are supported by science, some are misunderstood, and one of them could actually do more harm than good if you don't know the facts. Let's continue. Benefit 7. Can baking soda help your skin? Have you ever seen someone online say, "Just rub baking soda on your skin and it will fix everything"? Be careful. The truth is much more complicated. Because baking soda is alkaline, some people use it as a homemade scrub to remove dead skin cells. Others add small amounts to bath water to soothe itchy skin. And yes, some people say it leaves their skin feeling smoother. But here's what many videos never tell you. Your skin has a natural protective barrier. Using baking soda too often or scrubbing too aggressively can disrupt that barrier. For some people, that may lead to dryness, redness, or irritation. So if you choose to try it, use caution. And if you have sensitive skin or a skin condition, talk with a dermatologist before experimenting. Remember, natural doesn't always mean harmless. Benefit 8. A powerful natural deodorizer. Now here's one that's been trusted for generations. Have you ever wondered why some natural deodorants contain baking soda? It's because baking soda helps neutralize odor-causing compounds instead of simply covering them with perfume. Think about it.
Whether it's inside your refrigerator, your gym shoes, your trash can, or even your carpet, that smells usually come from tiny molecules released into the air. Baking soda can help reduce many of those odors. That's why people have been using it around the house for decades. Simple, affordable, and surprisingly effective. Benefit 9. The kitchen secret most families forget. Now let's go back into the kitchen. Did you know, one small box of baking soda can help with far more than baking? Many people use it to help clean sinks, countertops, coffee mugs, food containers, and even stubborn stains on cookware. Because it's a mild abrasive, it can help loosen dirt without scratching many hard surfaces when used correctly. And here's something your grandparents probably knew. A cleaner kitchen isn't just about appearance, it's about creating a healthier place to prepare food every single day. Sometimes, the simplest habits make the biggest difference. Benefit 10. The biggest myth about baking soda. Now let's talk about the biggest myth of all. You've probably seen headlines like, "Drink baking soda every morning and cure dozens of diseases," or "Baking soda can replace your medications." These claims spread quickly on social media, but they are not supported by good scientific evidence. Here's the truth. Baking soda has several specific, well-known uses, but it is not a miracle cure. It won't detox your body, it won't reverse aging, it won't cure diabetes, cancer, or heart disease, and taking large amounts can actually be dangerous. Real health isn't built on miracle ingredients, it's built on healthy habits practiced consistently over time. So after everything we've learned today, one thing is crystal clear. Baking soda is far more useful than most people realize, but it's also far more misunderstood than the internet would have you believe. And before you decide to use it, there's one final chapter you absolutely need to watch, because some people should avoid baking soda completely, and knowing who they are could be the most important lesson in this entire video.
Part 6. Who should avoid baking soda? The final truth everyone over 60 should know. We've talked about the benefits. We've separated facts from myths. But now comes the most important part of this entire video. Who should not use baking soda? Because for some people, what seems like a harmless kitchen ingredient could actually create serious health problems if used incorrectly. Let's find out. People with high blood pressure. Here's something many people don't realize. Baking soda contains a significant amount of sodium, and sodium matters, especially if you've been told to watch your salt intake. If you already have high blood pressure, adding extra sodium through frequent baking soda use may not be a good idea. Your heart is already working hard enough. The last thing you want is to make that job even harder. That's why many doctors recommend talking with your healthcare provider before using baking soda regularly if you have hypertension. A simple conversation today could prevent a much bigger problem tomorrow. People with kidney disease. Your kidneys are incredible organs. Every single day, they filter waste, balance minerals, and help keep your body's chemistry in balance. But when the kidneys aren't working properly, even small changes in sodium or acid-base balance can become much more important. That's why people living with kidney disease should never start taking baking soda on their own unless their doctor specifically recommends it. Sometimes, the safest decision is letting your healthcare team decide what's right for your condition. People with heart disease. Now let's talk about the heart. If you've ever had heart failure, swelling in your legs, or you've been told to limit sodium, this section is especially important. Extra sodium may contribute to fluid retention in some people, and when fluid builds up, the heart may have to work even harder. That's why something that seems harmless in the kitchen may not be harmless for everyone. Health advice is never one size fits all. Your medical history matters. Medication interactions. Here's another mistake many people make. They think, if it's natural, it can't interfere with my medicine. But that's not always true, because baking soda can change the acidity of the stomach. It may affect how some medications are absorbed. That includes certain prescription drugs and even some over-the-counter medicines. The timing of when you take them can matter. If you take medication every day, don't guess. Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider before adding baking soda as a regular health habit. That simple question could save you a lot of trouble. The smart way to think about baking soda. So, does baking soda deserve all the attention it gets? Yes and no. Yes, because it has several legitimate science-supported uses. But no, because it's not the miracle cure that social media often claims. Real health doesn't come from one powder, one pill, or one internet trick. It comes from healthy habits practiced consistently. Eating nutritious foods, staying physically active, sleeping well, managing stress, following your doctor's advice. Those are the habits that truly stand the test of time. Final summary. Let's quickly review today's biggest lessons. Check, baking soda can be useful in certain situations. Check, it has legitimate applications in oral care, food preparation, household cleaning, and some medical settings.
Check, it isn't a cure for every disease. Check, more is not better. Check, and if you have high blood pressure, kidney disease, heart disease, or take prescription medications, always talk with your healthcare provider before using it regularly. Knowledge is powerful, but using that knowledge wisely is even more powerful. Powerful ending plus call to action. Before you go, let me ask you one question. How many of these 10 benefits did you already know? Was it 2, 5, or did one completely surprise you? Tell us in the comments below. I read your comments every day, and I'd love to know which fact you found the most interesting. If this video helped you separate science from internet myths, please give it a like. It helps us create more evidence-based health videos for adults over 50. And if you enjoy learning simple, practical ways to support healthy aging, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Every week, we share trusted information about nutrition, circulation, joint health, healthy habits, and aging, explained in a way that's easy to understand. Remember, the goal isn't to live longer by chasing miracle cures. The goal is to live better by making smarter choices every single day. Thank you for watching, stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.